Episode 19. I'm going to call this one I Have Nothing to Say. I can't catch any pike, I'm sulking, I've got a stinking cold, so I thought the best thing to do is actually come and visit Mr. Bates at his tackle shop. So we're going to surprise him and we're going to do the podcast from there. No doubt he'll bore us with loads of his matches and results, but at least it's something to talk about this week.
So normally we're doing the podcast from Page Towers, and we're getting to the end of the season and we're sort of, what should we cover today? Well, we've come to my shop today, and as you can see, stairs behind me, the shop is above the cafe at Rookery Waters. So we're going to do a little tour around the shop of basically Aladdin's cave of a bit of everything. If you're a match angler, you'll be in your element. So, well, as we come upstairs, obviously we've got hats, we've got millions of hats, every manufacturer's got hats. We'll start off in Drennan, so obviously got a full range of Drennan clothing, full sizes. Normally if there's something in Drennan you want, we've got it. Then you've got luggage, got all the Drennan luggage, so we'll move round to more luggage. Got the new Hydra pole bags, they're brilliant. I mean, they're for like your top kits. That's a medium size, that's a larger one. More clothing, so these are just one size of what we've got in stock. Loads and loads of different clothing, whether it's Maver, Matrix, obviously Guru, Preston, that's in the wrong place, but they are. We've got full, full suits, whether it be summer or winter, footwear, more luggage. We've got too much gear. Obviously Enzon's been really popular this year for me. EVA bags, more core bags, if you're just after something just general. The Black Magic range of luggage is really, really good. It's brilliantly priced as well, along with the Matrix Aquos, that's been really popular. New Guru, got all the Fusion range of luggage. Move round here, rod bags in the corner. Preston Superior, really good gear. It's ideal when you can just wipe clean, really, really good. Competition range, which is sort of your middle of the road. 50 quid for a 6-tube holder, really, really good. Just pop that back up. Barra bag, brilliant big tip. Obviously we're a Matrix MTX gold stockist, so if you want to look at a pole from the MTX4 we've got in stock, MTX3, 2, 1, carry a lot of spares for the MTX range, so if you are a user of the MTX range, come and see us. We're normally pretty competitive on the old price on the poles, and if you're looking for a pole and you want to compare, we'll be more than happy to help you out. Acolyte rods, Acolyte margin pole, that's the new one there, so we've got a full range of Acolyte rods. And then if we move around this way, so hooks, pretty much all of these hooks here are all barbed. I mean, as you know, I love my drain and river fishing. We've got Garbellino silverfish hooks, new Hydra hooks, long shank, perfect for speed fishing. Got your Hayabusas, the 157s, brilliant for feeder fishing. 128s in black nickel and standard nickel. Moving down, Tubatini, so we've got 808s for your commercial fishing, 175s. Then you've got Series 18s, really popular for in the summer, whether you're fishing the Broads or drains or islands. Series 39s, brilliant feeder hook, especially the size, I think it's the size 13 they do, brilliant for short chuck feeder work. Series 4s, again, drain hook, A1Rds, Gamma Katsu, Gamma Greens, blacks, pellet hooks, powers. These are very popular, the red ones, really popular for feeder fishing. Got loads in a host of sizes. Coluso, do the Sode lights and the Chica 2405s. More Colmic hooks, fluorocarbon, been really popular, the King fluorocarbon stream. Waiting for a top up of that this week. It's been really, really popular since the video I did with Catchmore Media. These quality hook length line, X5000, ready tied hook lengths. These are good for you angler that hasn't got the time to tie a load of hooks. They come on a card, 3405s or 3530s. Really, really good. Magic nets. You're probably thinking, what the hell is that? Well, in the summer, obviously,
I know what that
hopefully,
is.
what?
Is that for wetting your pellets?
You could do it, yeah, you could use it for that, but what it's actually designed for is maggots. So the air can get to them, but they can't get out of this mesh, so they stay cool. It's really, really good idea. That's why they're called magic nets. Obviously they come in different shapes and sizes.
This is brilliant. We were going to do a 1 minute walkthrough.
Yeah.
It's 5 minutes already.
Well, I know.
This is just,
I know.
it is Aladdin's cave.
It is.
It's incredible.
Drennan, all the hooks, all the line, elastics, and then feeders. I mean, if you just go along here, Andy, I mean, I think I've got a feeder fetish. I've got more feeders than I've got floats, and that's saying something, but Cresta feeders, long range feeders. If you're going to Holland, you've got your claw feeders on the Isle and all those there. Got them. Obviously, you've got your black caps if you're going river fishing, even though there's none around here. Window feeders, you've got your big Dennets ones, like your bait up ones if you're going to Ireland. Got them. These are popular. Frenzy feeders, little square ones, plug the ends up. Olivettes, bread punches, catapults, more floats. If we just spin round, pole floats, got thousands and thousands of pole floats. Should get a better display really, but I'll just end up having more and more floats. You get Mark Pollard ones there. More nice little drain floats, Burks, Sci-Y floats, flat floats. You're probably thinking, what on earth are they? They're nearly as big as what you use for your pipe fishing. Crusoes, torpedoes, bubbles, more there. Cole McJollies, very popular. All of the Gloucester patterns and all the other Daiwa carpers. Albertos, popular on the Y and river fishing. Dudas, love these. Brilliant for a little bit of hemp or castor fishing. And you got your Guillaumes or Williams, whip floats, loads of them. And then obviously you got full range of Drennan floats. These have been really, really popular. So the SF2s, love them, interchangeable bristles. Great for when the light changes. Obviously full range commercial setups. And then obviously you've got your pellets, ready rigs. Drennan do a really good range of ready rigs. Awesome. Simon Wilsonmore ready rigs as well. Bangless fishing on the drains. They're 450. You couldn't tie them up better yourself. All you got to do is add your hook length. So they come in the carbons, squats, Balabini shot, bit of a Hydra display, silicone and bits and bobs. And then we'll move over here. Obviously more Drennan gear. Kamazan hooks, 711s. These are the hooks that are going to beat you with your swing tip.
You got to catch them at first to hook it.
Well, yeah. 512s, very popular in Ireland, especially in the 10s. You know, big hooks in Ireland, especially in the north. Kamazan 911s, obviously the new PTFE coated Kamazans have been popular. Polaris floats, that's something you'd probably use.
That's way too big.
No. Pellet wagglers, big loaded wagglers, and then these are nice, these are really popular. Drake floats, a lot of shops don't stock that, but Drake. Onions, you'll remember these.
Yes.
Look at them,
The old
look.
onions.
Proper drain float, look. Onions. Obviously we do the G-Wags. All the new wagglers from Drennan. More feeders, these are nice. Really nice, especially, you know, when you're fishing tight over on the drains and you want a bit of cloud in your peg, like a bit of sloppy ground bait. They go in nice and brilliant feeders. You change the leads on those. More wagglers. Matrix, obviously do a lot of Matrix. These have been really popular this year. A new toss pot or flexible pot, different lids, different scenarios, 3 different sizes. Slick, sold hundreds and hundreds of packets of that this year. Bread punches, more feeder gear, swivels, snap links, more feeders, like I say, method feeders, horizon feeders, bell feeders, inline feeders, Obviously you got the seat box, more feeders.
I tell you what, it's only when you're showing things out. This is ridiculous.
I know,
You
it's
have
mental. I know, orbit feeders, more box accessories, trays. So moving on from the Matrix stuff, got a Maver display. We've got your Stone River, really popular with your feeder anglers, long range. MVR mono, I use that for my main lines, brilliant in sort of 012, 014, 010. Feeder, reel line. Then you got your dual core elastics. Obviously this time of year on the light ones, another couple of months you'll be on the margin crunching stuff. PTFE bushes, lovely range of wagglers, Maver shot, excuse me, box accessories, style pincers, brilliant, love them, really a fan of those. Snap link swivels, not that I've already got millions of them. Triple blade worm scissors. Got a range of Frenzy products, do quite a lot with Frenzy. Silicon, elastics again, hooks, side pullers, Kinder pots, hats, and then moving on to elastics, got MIDI, then you've got a selection of Browning stuff, bait bands, PTFEs, light, loop tyres, and then your pole protection. They go in the end there, stop your expensive poles getting broken.
They just look weird.
Yeah. These are new this year from Browning. They just go over the end of the pole, stop getting damaged. They're a newer version of those. Moving on, bit of a everything board. New Fish Zip, been really popular. £5 for 3 metres, really good. More silicon, snap link swivels. They're really popular. Garbolino line, G line, Gamakatsu G line, Shimano line, bit of Browning braid, Maxima, Old Faithful.
Still going strong. It's the
Yeah.
same packaging. I think.
Yeah. Styles, half styles, more toys, silicon, no, bristle paint, bait droppers. The old Match Team Sealstar, really popular. And then move on to Daiwa. So, got spare tips like the Mega Tops, Big Eyes, got distance tips as well. And then, believe it or not, I've got some more feeders.
I can't believe you've got more feeders.
Yeah.
You don't have enough feeders.
Yeah.
No.
These I think are going to be quite popular in summer. So more the Enzon range. I'm really impressed with the Enzon range of feeder gear. Leads or earrings, whatever you want to call it. But more snap links, nose cones for all the Daiwa UK made poles, braid, Daiwa sensor, hydro elastic, hydro connectors, hook boxes that come in and sold out within 3 days. So got more of them to come in. And the shelf that's falling down. Feeder boxes, hand towels, pole socks, more Enzon luggage. Got your sliders if you're going on the U's, or hopefully I'll be using these on the Gloucester. Bait brollies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mustn't forget the bait brollies.
Yeah, bait brollies. More pole socks. And then we'll just go behind here. We've got Cresta, more feeders, hook boxes, bit of everything really with them. New connectors, they're quite cool. And then moving on to Preston. So we've got tons and tons of Preston. Obviously, they do everything from feeders up to seat boxes to rods, reels, and everything. But the ICS range of feeders, brilliant, because you can have one rod, and say you want to put some bait in at the start with a normal feeder, and then fish a small method over the top, all on one rod. Just take that off, slide that off, slide the next one on, chuck out in exactly the same spot. Then you got your moulds, stems, line, absolute feeder braid. I've been using that for about a year now, and I like it. I mean, people get put off by the colour, but it is a good braid. It sinks. Sinking feeder mono, power line, bungs, stops, elastics, all your general bits and bobs. Ready tied maglock hook links that go into the hook boxes. More hooks. You got your barbless range and then the end range of natural hooks. These are good. The Evolution hook boxes. They're perfect for your feeder fishing on natural venues, so if you're going in the summer on the drains, they're perfect for that. More pots, winders, more side trays, add-on units, seat boxes, everything you can think of with the seat box accessories. And window feeders, from small up to the big monsters like that, getting a bit baiting, obviously caged or solid. And then you got the distance feeders. These have been really popular in the summer for places like the Thurn and the Bure. Just small pinch of ground bait, sort of short chuck, catching sort of 30-40 pounder skimmers. Mega fishing up there. Really enjoy going down there even. Pole pots, more stuff. Seat boxes, whips. Obviously, being in the fens, we do a lot of whip fishing. You've got from 3 metres up to 8 metres, from 30 quid up to 350 quid. Top kits, from Daiwa, margin poles. We do spares, obviously mini specs extensions, short fours, power kits, match kits, F1 kits, all of those. Although we are predominantly a match shop, obviously we do cater for your general pleasure angler that wants to do a bit of pike fishing on the drains, like Andy Page. You know, he says he goes fishing, but we haven't got no proof that he catches anything yet.
I did show a photograph once.
Oh, right,
once.
yeah. Lures, little jellies, bit of ESP, sell a bit online, and obviously anglers fishing on Rook Lake do tend to use this sort of gear. They go up to £28. Landing nets, loads and loads of landing nets, from your rubber nets so your hair rigs don't get caught, specimen nets, you know, if you're pleasure fishing here, bang on for that. Unhooking mats, keep nets, the old Maver Signature, they're match nets. They're brilliant. Your hooks don't get caught, well, your barbed hooks don't get caught. You can just take them straight out, especially when you're catching them nice roach, and every one you get in, the hook's caught in the net. You think, oh, you end up making little holes in your net, but you don't get that with them. More rubber nets, commercial nets. Then these, obviously these you can't use in the UK, but if you're going on holiday to Ireland, Holland, you can use those on the continent, and they are brilliant. Hooks don't get caught in them at all. But obviously you're not allowed to use them in the UK. Weigh bags, more keep nets, reels from $14.99 up to 350 quid. You got your distance reels, TDRs, obviously, and Shimano Ultegras, and you got the compact Brownings, Ninjas, TDRs, ballistics, bit of everything really. Matrix reels, I stock those. And then behind you've got Guru. Obviously, being on commercial fish, where we stock a massive range of Guru products. These have been popular on the drains for anglers that haven't got time or can't be asked to tie up. Brilliant. These are good for Ireland again. If you're going to Ireland, or if you're fishing natural venues, similar to the Preston hook lengths we was on about earlier, they're brilliant for that. Feeder boxes, fluorocarbon, more hooks, more line, catapults, boxes, hook boxes, the the high-tech Tales from the Tackle Shop equipment.
Worth a fortune.
Yeah. Hybrid feeders, method feeders, pellet wagglers, more window feeders, more ground bait feeders, extra leads, bait up feeders, obviously fridges for the bait. Moving round here, some leads, then you got more rods, so you've got the Enzon range, tournaments, we have a selection of tournament rods, right, sneaked in there somehow. Vertex rods, brilliant mid-price range, obviously, then we've got the ground bait R, which we did a 20-minute video on. Moving a bit further, obviously got the Hydro products, and our pellets, which are 4 bags for a tenner, your coppins or scrattins, and then a range of hookers. These have been good this year as well, the old Advantage bait pop-ups. And that brings us back to the start, really. So,
Alex, that's really comprehensive, but I've learnt one thing from walking around with you, and that is you can't just come in the shop and just pick up something. You've got to speak to yourself, your dad,
definitely.
granddad, because this is such a wealth of information here. It's incredible.
It is, yeah, I mean, we sort of pride ourselves on our own fresh bait, and we want to offer a service where, you know, ask us something and we give you our honest opinion. You know, if it's something that we don't feel is right for where you're going or what you need, then we're not going to sell it to you. You know, we are competitive on price on a lot of things, but these small items and stuff like that you don't tend to see in the real big superstores, and we offer a, you know, a friendly, proper tackle shop service, if you know what I mean.
I think that's, you've hit the nail on the head. It's the small things that make the difference, because there's so many little bits and pieces.
Yeah.
It's incredible. You've got something for everything. I remember last year when I came in, there was a couple of guys wanted different hand towels, but depending on which brand they were, just so it went with their gear.
I mean,
That's
got
incredible.
Matrix, Guru, Spotted Fin, Drennan, Daiwa. You know, it's just hand towel. I mean, as anglers, we're all tackle tarts at heart, and you know, you buy into the brand. So, you know, someone might make an elastic. I don't know, for example, bread punches. You might be, you know, a massive Matrix fan, and why not? But you know, Drennan do bread punches, Guru do bread punches. It's like method feeders. Every brand does their own method feeders, and everyone likes one different for different reasons. And you know, you have to stock everything nowadays, and we can't stock everything, but we try to stock as much stuff as we can.
Well, I think you've got just about everything. It's absolutely fantastic. So we try to do a bit of a walkthrough. So podcast-wise, hopefully that will come over, not just a list of things. We've done a video to go with it, so I really like to persuade people to try and look at the video on YouTube. Mate, that's absolutely brilliant.
Sounds.
Okay, listeners, now this is Tuesday night. This is the night after we tried to do the podcast in the tackle shop, and I say tried because we had all sorts of technical issues, battery failure and all sorts, and my pathetic camera skills. However, we overcome that. So for all you match anglers, I've just listened to the edited part, and I think you'll find it really, really enjoyable. To all my predator friends, I do apologise. A lot of terminology. But it was Alex, it was mind blown how much gear you've got in the shop.
Yeah, I think I'm a bit of a hoarder, don't you think?
No, I think you've got attention to detail because.
Oh yeah.
I didn't
I've got
actually.
1 billion feeders and 3 billion pole floats.
Well, I was about to say the feeders until you showed me where they were. I didn't see them at first.
Yeah.
And then there's
I mean, we couldn't really go into depth why they're all different from one another and what they do different and how they sort of introduce bait into the peg differently, and yeah, I think that's a podcast on its own, if you know what I mean.
Oh, we're not doing that via podcast. We'll do it with a camera because that's for sure.
Yeah.
I have got to ask you one feeder question.
Yeah.
You showed me some feeders that you might use in Holland.
Yeah, claw feeders, yeah.
Those prongs at the back, what are they for?
Yeah. They basically stop the feeder rolling.
Okay.
So like on them powerful tidal rivers, even in this country they use them as well. It just stops them rolling, and obviously you get loads of tangles and issues and
so
snags.
You might use them on the Trent or the Severn.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you'd need a very heavy one at the minute, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would.
Yeah.
But, okay, that answers that. Before we go into more match-related stuff, I'm just flicking through some of the messages we've had, and a couple of guys have sent 2 lovely messages. First one's from Paul Smith, and this guy is getting back into match fishing, and he was Secretary Treasurer TID a long time ago, back in the 80s.
Yeah.
And sent us a lovely message, and I think Dad had something to do with him with the Queen's Boys School. Used to visit North Level, so I did reply to Paul, and Dad says hello. But Paul, you sent us a lot of ideas, so that was very, very good. And the second one, a chap called Bob Bale, he sent us another lovely message. And that was about some of the guys at St Neots Angling Club. So obviously, I haven't had a chance to reply to Bob yet. I will do over the next couple of days. And this is great because people are sending us lots and lots of ideas. And the general consensus seems to be, don't stop over the summer doing the podcasts. So I think we'll have to have a strategic planning meeting, Alex, somewhere along the line.
Yeah.
I'm feeling the ship in as a good meeting place.
Yeah. But yeah, any pub sounds a good meeting place. Yeah.
Or Curry House, or both.
Yeah.
We'll work
Sounds
out.
sounds like an idea.
Yeah, it does. Okay. Shall we go straight into preparations, or do you want to do the match results first?
Well, we'll do match results then. Come back to preparation, can't we?
Yeah.
And yeah. So obviously with the weather and that this weekend and the weekend before, pretty much most of the matches were cancelled. So it's quite easy this week, really. We've just got the main March Open, which is the last sort of match that all the teams can practice before the Winter League final on Saturday. So attendance is normally really, really high, but I think poor old Bob had about 20 no-shows, so that'll help some people and not others. But I mean, luckily enough, I was one of them that had a bit of room, because I don't know if pegs weren't drawn or whether they just didn't go to their pegs, but it gives you a bit of an advantage anyway. But yeah, it was a strange old day, really. The river was dead still when we got there, which is a strange one, really, because normally it's just running off and then it'll stop as the day goes on and then start to back up. So it was I didn't know what to think of it, really. I wasn't sure what was going to happen. So he set the kitchen sink up and just play it by ear sort of thing. But it fixed all right, considering. Literally 5 minutes before the match started, it started to pull. As it started to pull as well, the water level come up, which doesn't normally happen, to be honest. Normally the water level goes down. And then probably as the day went on, the wind increased, the flow increased, and it just got worse and worse. So I think it was all right for you inside the house, Andy. I think you was laughing at us, weren't you?
Yeah, I'm trying to think what I did Sunday. I went out Saturday and blanked.
I know you sent me a message and said you ain't out in this
Yeah,
again.
yeah, I did.
Or something
Yeah.
to the words of that effect, but it
Well,
was like
the last two Sundays,
you know.
that's been the worst winds, I think, hasn't it? So you guys have been pretty good. You've braved it out there in the elements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
So match results wise, is it me, or is the town stretch now starting to get really peggy?
it's always been a peggy venue. I mean, the nearer the town you get, the better it gets. I mean, it's surprising to see Wiggy's hold out for as long as it has done. The fish definitely seem to be there in numbers this year. I mean, last year and the year before, normally around Christmas time, that's sort of when you want to be at Wiggy's, there's a few more boats there than other places. And then after Christmas, it tends to get a bit of pressure with anglers practicing, because it is a sort of a good area. But I mean, anglers have still been practicing. It's still held up on Sunday, so there must be a tremendous amount of fish there. Again, through the allotments and that, it was a bit patchy, but you got to remember that was affected by the conditions probably more than what Wigston's or behind the swimming pool is. So the weights are always going to be low with those conditions. But I mean, the river has absolutely got tanked off. It's got faster and faster and faster, and it was really fast at the end. It weren't swirling though. It was manageable, if you know what I mean. It wasn't like where you had to put your rig in and it was gone.
Yeah. Did all the winning weights come from the Wigstones bridge section?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So on Wigston's grass, the match winner was Jason Cunningham. Cadence Shakespeare. He has got a good record at March, really. He's fished quite a few matches, and he always seems to be near for bridge. He's been peg one in one of my matches before and won the match, and he's been next to Wigston's Health Centre bridge once, and then obviously he's drawn one above the culvert. So he's had £23.11, full roach, just on ground bait and pinkies, and runner up was Graham Welton, again Mr. Consistent.
He is doing well. He must have a really good season. He's done really well.
Yeah, he's had a good season, Graham has. Yeah, especially with 20 foot. He's been the troll under the bridge most weeks there, but he's never too far away from a good peg, is Graham. But you got to catch him as well. So well done, Graham. He's had £22.10 out, I think he had, something like that, per second. So sort of a pound difference, really. And then third was Mark Pollard. He was underneath Wigston's Bridge. And he's had £21.6 of all small fish, just loose feeding and ground bait and pinky approach across, which he's super good at that. He's brilliant when it comes to small fish at sort of short line, and he's really good at that. Fourth was Ben Taylor, the other side of the bridge. He's had £19.1. One of the Ossett lads travelled up Saturday. They've had a good team practice. They're a great bunch of lads, really. I enjoy their company when they come down there. Sound, and he's fished a nice match. He's had £19.1. Fifth was Ray Malley. He was on the Culvert Peg. He's had £18.6. And then just to complete the frame was Sean Ashby. He had a low £18. And he was from Peg 1, which is the downstream end peg. So all in all, the weights weren't as big as they normally are, but still pretty impressive for the conditions. And so they're looking good for Saturday, really. I mean, forecast isn't very good. It's going to be pretty much similar to Sunday, so we'll see what the river's doing. Not too sure about Factory Bank. I'm a bit worried about that. Hopefully
so basically, was there matches on the 20-foot this weekend? Did they get cancelled? Yes,
there was. There was a match which Danjay run, and it was meant to be on Factory, Benwick, and 20-foot. But because of the weather, the numbers dwindled, and they'd used a section at Benwick and a section on the 20-foot. Benwick was won with £17 from Peg 2. There was £14 was Ian Benton who's second, and then I think it's Charlie Vallander, I think his name is, not too sure. Chris Vallander, he's had 14, a low 14 anyway. So Benwick fished a lot better than it has been. I'm not too sure whether it was small fish that won it or whether it was some tench fed, but Ian Benton was second, and he is pretty known for his Edward Scissorhands approach. So I would like to say that there was some big fish caught at Benwick this week with the warm temperatures anyway.
Yeah.
But 20-foot, Paul Passmore won it from the end peg there. He's had 23.10. Troy Weaver made a big journey up from Gloucester way. He's had 17.13, and then Sean Williamson had 17.02. So the weights were a lot lower on the 20-foot than what they have been, but I would hazard a guess that the conditions made that what it was. So, yeah.
Well, I had a look at the 20-foot. I'm sure, I can't remember if it was Sunday or Monday. I'm losing track of days. This is ridiculous. But it's absolutely hooning through at the minute. And it is.
Yeah.
It's got a hell of a colour to it. So I should imagine Sunday it started to pump off pretty hard because of all the rain that we were having.
Yeah,
so,
especially when it comes through that footbridge.
Oh yeah, it was eddying away. So I'm just thinking for Saturday it could be. I've got a sneaking suspicion. Well, on decoy as well, but on the drains, this could be won by just getting the favourable draw.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's there isn't a venue in the whole of the country where you could put 150 pegs and it'd be fair. It just doesn't exist. So, you know, what they've tried to do is try and make it as fair as they can and peg it as fair as they can, and a bit of local knowledge from what pegs and stuff like that. So there is always going to be a favourable draw, and that's match fishing.
Yeah, that's the way the cookie crumbles, isn't it? But I think also with the conditions the way they are, Alex, with the extra water, it's going to be even more so, isn't it? It's going to be exaggerated.
Possibly. But on the other hand, it could, you know, benefit other teams. You know, the teams that are perhaps used to more a bit running water, or you know, these teams are travel from all over the country. You've got teams that are predominantly fishing canals and are really good at sort of negative fishing and winkling out 4 or 5 pound small fish on a canal, and then you've got teams that have qualified on, you know, big rivers and good at putting a big float through in sort of fast flow, and then there's all sorts of teams, and if anything, the wind will actually help decoy.
What I was going to say, it's going to sort the men out from the boys, because I think the conditions could be a bit tough, particularly like you said. I think 20-foot, if that wind starts hurtling down there, that could make it interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it tests you. Do you know what I mean? It's just one of them. I mean, decoy will be better because it's going to be 13 degrees, I think, or 14 degrees Saturday, and that'll hopefully get the fish feeding, and the wind makes them move as well. So you might find some areas in the lake where you don't normally catch are going to be full of fish again, where they've woken up slightly or the tows moved them into certain areas. But I think it's going to be good. Really looking forward to it.
Did you see
Shame about the wind.
Did you see Tom Scody's post on Facebook?
No.
Yeah,
no.
I think he came third with £150 last week.
Yes. I mean, it's phenomenal for the February. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So decoy's fishing well by the looks of things. And like you
yeah,
said,
it is, mate.
the mild conditions.
And they're responding to all different methods as well. So it's good. I mean, if it was frozen all week and everyone will be sort of biting their nails, is it going to be cooled off? Is it going to be frozen solid? I think, personally, I'd probably rather have a bit of wind and 14-degree temperatures and feel that, you can perhaps do something with some fishing skills rather than just drawing an absolute bunghole and next peg blanks, and that's winter fishing. But no, I think it'll be all right. I think it'll be good, mate.
So
I think there's a lot of teams capable of winning.
Without giving away any secrets, are you ready?
Oh, yeah. I think as a team, we picked the team about 2 or 3 weekends ago, just so we sort of could get everyone organised and understand the venues a bit more, book time off work, and practice venues that they've not really haven't been on. I mean, we know the venues, and I think the hardest thing for us has been trying not to overcomplicate things, to be honest, overthinking things, and just doing how we know the venues fish, and just be confident in what we're doing. So the decoy lads have been catching a few, and to be honest, the warmer it is, the more local knowledge will probably help. So yeah, we've got a meeting on Thursday at the Curry House, and might go over a few things, and we're buzzing for it. Really, we're looking to go in it, and like most teams, we want to win it.
Yeah. So just run past me again how it works with the pegging, because you've got teams of 12 or 10.
Teams of 10. Teams of 10. Yeah.
5 on decoy and 5 on the drains.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
3 sections at March.
Yeah, so 3 30 peg sections.
Yeah,
at March.
A shared section on the 20-foot and Benwick.
No, so Benwick is a full section of 30 pegs.
Okay.
But each 30 pegs is split into 2 15-peg sections, which you score your points from. Oh. So you get 1 for a section win, 15 for a section last.
Okay, I got you. Yeah.
Yeah. Excuse me. And then Factory Bank, there's 15 pegs there.
Yeah.
And then on the 20-foot, there's 15 pegs there. And they're the 2 splits. So if you're in D section, 1 to 15, say, is Factory, and 16 to 30 is the 20-foot. So make sure any teams that are listening and they do it, make sure they go to the right venue.
So do you nominate which anglers are going to be on which venue beforehand?
So you can't nominate which sections they're in. You have 5 anglers that will be fishing the drains and 5 anglers that will be on decoy. And then other than that, it should be a random draw. So I could be on March, so it's just completely random. So all week we've been sorting kit out for all eventualities, all different venues.
Hold on a minute. Could you end up with 5 guys all on the March stretch?
No. So there's 1 angler from each team in each section.
That's what I mean. Yeah. So
but you don't know who's going to be on that section until the morning. So every one of the anglers in the team is prepared for all the sections.
Oh, that is a minefield.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's mad. All week I've been doing extra kit that I probably don't really need to do, but just doing it because I feel like I've got to do it, and just in case this happens, and plan C, D, and hopefully just pick up the 3 rigs that I normally catch on and go from there. But you never know in this game, and it's the biggest competition, probably apart from Division 1 National, that all teams want to win. It's what everyone's been sort of putting all the time and effort in for as many rounds or weekends through the winter, getting battered by the elements, and it all leads up to this one on Saturday.
So I'm thinking that bait-wise then, your team of 5 that are on the drains, you've probably got you know what bait is needed for the 5 sections, but on the day,
Yeah.
someone who's going to Factory Bank might take a slightly different setup than someone who's going to March, for example.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, as a team, we all got sort of a standard bait quantity for the sort of majority of the venues, but the only one where you need a bit more bait is the 20-foot. So I've mixed some ground bait up and got some extra pinkies. So whoever draws that, just give them to that angler. And away you go. So just a bit of team planning, really.
Oh dear. And no pressure.
No pressure.
No
No
pressure.
No.
No, because oh wow, I'm getting nervous thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, it is, you know, especially with it being on our doorstep. We're a new team, and we want to win the final. You know, no one really remembers second. It'd be nice, you know. It's incredible amount of teams, but and you know, standard of teams, but it's all about winning. You know, it's what we've been leading up to all winter. So fingers crossed we get some decent set of pegs, through the pegs justice, and hopefully we'll be in the top 3. So that'd be nice. It would be nice. But
I mean, let's face it, every angler in that match on Saturday is incredibly competent, if not very good. So.
Oh yeah.
I think...
I mean, there's no mugs, as you say.
No.
Everyone's there that is, you know, on merit. They all know what they're doing, and locally they've gone through rounds and got to the final, and now it's the big one. But
I think the conditions are going to be a little bit tricky on the drains. I do think that might cause one or two little, like you said to me ages ago about, I think it was on Spalt was here, about a guy who went for a pee in a match, missed out on a couple of fish, and then his team didn't qualify for something. I can't remember now what he said, but I think it could be that tight on Saturday, because I think the match results.
Oh yeah, everything's going to be so fine. You know, you might have a peg that is an absolute no-hoper, but the lads that are on a mediocre peg fish a blinder and win the section or come second in a section, and it sort of cancels the blowout out, if you know what I mean. You know, everyone's spent hours and hours of preparation and getting everything right, and we've had meetings, and it's, you know, team fishing that's why I love it, because it is a team thing. You can draw out of it in your section, but you know you're fishing for the rest of the lads, and you know, you just for 5 hours, it's, you know, just put everything on the line almost. You know, I know it sounds silly for you, it's fishing, but for them 5 hours, that's all you're concentrating on. You're not thinking about anything else, and it's good. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking about this. I mean, obviously, I think it's only fair to say we wish every competitor the best of luck in the match, and also just be careful about parking, because we do get some loons on the Fen roads who don't actually, they go.
Oh, without doubt, mate. Yeah.
So everyone be really careful about parking your cars and getting out on the roadside. So obviously, good luck to everybody. However, we are very biased. So obviously, we're going to sprinkle a bit of Stardust, the podcast Stardust, on the Daiwa Tackle and Baits team, and I think
fingers crossed.
Well, you guys are hardened now. You've been through all sorts of trials and tribulations over the last few years on the local drains, and I think that kind of hardened match angling in all sorts of conditions is going to be really helpful, particularly on Saturday. If it was a month ago, we had that really mild weather, I think it would have been a different ball game. I think it would have opened it right up. But now we've got that extra water coming through again, and some of it was quite cold if you think about it. A couple of weeks ago we had that snow, didn't we, in Wisbeach, and quite a lot of snowfall down. So I think that's why the match results have been like they have been, because that water coming through hasn't been caught up on the same temperature. It's dropped the water temperature slightly. I'm making up all sorts of excuses here, Alex, for my own pike fishing results, by the way.
Well, I have noticed that. I didn't want to mention that, but
that's the only reason I've got this theory is because I can't catch anything at the minute. But I did notice the match results were right down in all the drains, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens, because like those bonus tension bream that sometimes pop up in some of the stretches.
Yeah, oh, definitely. I think Bennett could surprise a few people. It could be a big weight of tension there. You just don't know. There could be some rad. someone could just drop in first 3 chucks at March and have two £2 rud and a £1 rud, and happy days.
Yeah.
You can settle down a bit and know you've got a bit of a banker there. But excuse me, it's going to be good, mate. There'll be some prizes. There always is, and I think as a team we're sort of going to aim to all try and get in the top 5 of the sections and go from there. Because I think last year 36 points won it, and 40 points was second, and third was 60, I think. So that's the aim, top 5 in the section, and see what happens.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Yeah.
But I know the lads are gonna, whatever happens, if we don't win, we don't win. We've put as good an effort in as we can do, and it's not for lack of trying. Put it that way. So.
That's very true. Okay, buddy. Well, obviously this week is very match orientated, and next week will be just as much so, because obviously we'll have the fallout, so to speak, from the Winter League.
Yeah.
It'll be really good to get a lowdown from that. Just one thing I want to mention to the listeners: we're going to try and put. I did some videos last night in Alex's tackle shop. The ground bait just blew me away. The range of ground baits that are on offer. So we're going to try and put that out visually. I've just got to check my camera skills, Alex, because it looked last night that I got things in focus, but I haven't had a chance to look. And as you said to me in the tackle shop, I've obviously been playing with the camera and stuff, and I'm still not very good with it, so we'll see. But if I can get that right, I'll stick that on our YouTube channel. And what else did we do? We did something else.
We did a tour, didn't we, that was meant to be 2 minutes and then was in 20 minutes, I think.
Yeah, that's the intro for this. And there was something else we did. What was it? The seats, the platforms. Yeah.
Yeah, seat boxes, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll also stick that on via video, because that was amazing. I was absolutely blown away with, you've got your platform, then you've got your foot plate, then you've got your seat box, and then you've got 57 different arms that stick out. And
Go gadget, isn't it?
You could spend a king's ransom in there on bits.
Yeah, that's the idea.
That's the idea. But no, I think it's great, because I was thinking about getting myself something like that just for pleasure fishing on the drains in the summer. But then I thought, I'm going to have to go back to the gym just to carry all. But there we go. So I might go back to the old tried and tested sit on the floor. Sit on the bank.
Yeah, with your swing tip and your boiled potatoes, I suppose. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with boiled spuds. You are going to get a good. I was about to say a good thrashing in the summer, but that sounded so wrong. I won't say that. Right, we've done an awful lot matchy wise this week. Is there anything else that you would like to add?
No, I think, like I say, it's all leading up to Saturday, and fingers crossed. Hopefully next week we'll have some sort of good feedback from what happened. And the other thing is going back to the platforms at March, or trying to get platforms at March. I know Kai's been asking a lot of the anglers that have been travelling down to fill in the questionnaire, because it helps him go to the council and say, look, this is how much revenue fishing's bringing into the local area. Will you support us with some money for some platforms and car parks and parking and stuff like that? So I think it only takes 5 minutes, but that 5 minutes might mean that next year you come, there's even more proper platforms to fish from. So
yeah, good shout. We had a link on the Facebook page. I'll tell you what, if we repost it somewhere.
Yeah, definitely. I think we should do that, and hopefully get a few anglers to do the survey. So
yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be really good. Right, I suppose it just leaves me to say that good luck to everybody on Saturday. Remember what I said about the idiot drivers? They just don't consider someone trying to get kit out of a car, but everyone will be okay. And best of luck. But come on, boys, you can bring it home. No pressure, Alex.
No pressure.
No pressure. That's awesome. Okay, this has been Tales from the Tackle Shop, a Fenelon Fishing TV production.